expanding possibilities. The Mindset Zone.
I'm your host, Ana Melikian, and my mission is to support individuals and organizations to increase their impact while avoiding burnout. If you want to work smarter, not harder, I can help you. If you want to go from burnout to full engagement, let's talk. Reach me at Ana, A-N-A, at mindset.zone. Yes, instead of .com, it's .zone. You can also access all the episode notes, links, and other amazing resources at mindset.zone. I love personal and professional development. I really believe that as human beings, we have extraordinary potential that we can tap into, we can actualize in our lives in many big ways. And one concept that I love to speak about is what I call the zone of proximal growth. And this is inspired by Vygotsky's zone of proximal development that I learned about when I was studying psychology in the University of Sunderland in England more than 30 years ago. And was really an incredible concept that opened my eyes to possibilities. Vygotsky was a Soviet psychologist that lived in the beginning of the 20th century. And he came out with this concept that the distance between the actual development level as determined by independent problem solving and the level of potential development as determined through problem solving under adult guidance or in collaboration with more capable peers was the zone of proximal development. And this in children development was a very, very important concept because there was the belief at the time that the kid in their maturation, they will have certain abilities and you could not help him learn more of what he was capable of. And what Vygotsky came to show and really be an advocate about it is that, yes, children can have a certain capacity to do certain things alone, yet there is a zone that with the help of another, like an adult, with the right guidance, they can grow their development to things that they cannot do alone. And eventually they will be able to do it by themselves. So it's like those skills that were too difficult for the child to master on his or her own, that they could be done with the right guidance, encouragement from a more knowledgeable peer or adult. And then there was an area that even with all the guidance and all the encouragement that the kid could not be able to do because was beyond that zone of proximal development. And I really love this concept to bring it to personal development because I think it's an amazing way to represent the space just beyond our comfort zones. We all arrive on a stage of development as an adult that we are good in certain tasks and certain things, and we know that. And we start avoiding things that we are not good at and even trying new things. But if we embrace this idea of this space beyond our comfort zones, that is not too far out, that paralyzes us, but just enough to stretch our capabilities and expand our horizons, then we have a great space for this proximal growth. So I love, even as a coach, coaching individuals and groups, is that the magical happen. Is in that zone that by giving the right support and conditions, people really, there is that moments where people connect the dots, seeing things in a different way, doing the mindset shift that allows them to do things in a different way, or allows them to find the new solutions that they didn't have thought of, and even try to things that they were reluctant of trying before, that really makes a difference in the long term. And I really was thinking about this because recently I had a little adventure in my own zone of proximal growth. And this came in an unexpected way. I was in a professional event in California, and they had one of those activities after the day, a social get-together, that was the invitation to experience the I-Fly Indoor Skydiving. I don't know if you ever have done it or see one. It's these places that they have a vertical wind tunnel, and they simulate the experience of jumping, of skydiving. But very secure, very controlled. There is a person there all the time with us. So in the beginning, was really, the thought of it was totally outside my comfort zone. But I was thinking, why not? And I asked myself, what is the worst that it can happen? This is controlled, this is well done. I'm with a group of great people. I can have a good time, so why not try? So I decided to embrace the challenge and try. There were people there that decided not to, and totally okay. But I decided to give it a chance. And the experience was really fascinating. We have like, they prepare us, we put the jumpsuits, and we have like a little lesson about what to do, how to follow the instructions, because when we are in the situation itself, the noise of the wind is so strong that, and we have also the helmet and the earplugs. So we cannot communicate with words when we are in that space. So we have to have hand signals to communicate, to help us to be in the right position. And they speak about the importance of, as relaxed we are, the easier it is to floating or to flying there, and they are always there with us. So we have that little preparation, and the message was relax, relax. And I say, okay, I think I can do that. I can be mindful. I can be there and try to relax. So, and then it's a group of people, and each one of us go twice in the wind tunnel. And the first time that was my turn, it's really because it's the wind is really strong. But I decide, okay, let's try to surrender. Let's try to trust this. And it was really fascinating and nice. And then they take us up. The person that is there helping us, really like you really fly. It's absolutely fascinating. It's different than swimming. I cannot explain. It's a very unique experience. And then we go back to the end of the line, and until arrives our turn again. And the second time I say, oh, this can be fun. I just really just enjoy it. The enjoy to be there, to be literally flying in the air. And it surprises me how much I enjoy and how much fun and joy I have. And I even have a little video, because of course they take photos and they record everything. And I got the video afterwards, and I will make sure that I will put the video on the show notes, because it's amazing. And I like to see myself in the video because I'm smiling, I'm relaxing, my fingers are wiggling in the wind, and I'm enjoying being in the moment. Was one of that experience that I decide be in the moment and enjoy, and I love it. And I decided to do this podcast about that because even if you didn't yet try, or even if you never do it, I'm sure that you have experience in your lives of experience ventures you initially hesitate to do, and yet then you, by whatever reason, you decide, okay, let's give it a try, or life made you have to do that. And you, whoa, why did I hesitate about this? Yes, was outside my comfort zone. Yes, was stepping into the unknown, was to experimenting something new that was really meaningful and really powerful. And I learned something. Kids are much more open to this kind of experience of the known and of trying something new, of that beginner's mindset. But if we embrace the beginner's mindset, that sense of curiosity, of joy, of learning something, or embracing the experimentation, we really can spend more enjoyable time in this zone of proximal growth. Of course, and importantly, is not stepping to a place that is beyond what we can deal with. And ideally, is step into this zone of proximal growth with some support and guardrails to be a great experience and enjoying it. So it's fascinating. So I invite you to think about the moments in your life. Think about the situations where you stepped into your zone of proximal growth. What did you learn? And how has it shaped your willingness to embrace new challenges? I think we have to create times and spaces for these zones of proximal growth. Can be listening to a podcast or reading a book that initially we thought that was a little bit out of our comfort zone. Why not embrace that experimentation, embrace the playfulness, and I would love to hear what you learn from those experiences.
Expanding possibilities, the mindset zone.
Thank you for listening, and remember to follow this podcast. And if you are listening in Apple Podcasts, please leave us a review. That really helps us spread the word about the Mindset Zone. Also visit mindset.zone. Yes, instead of .com is .zone. There you can find amazing resources and more information about my speaking and how I support purpose-driven individuals and organizations increase their impact while preventing burnout. As always, I'm so grateful you are here. Expand what's possible for you, for the ones around you, for the world.